Right, so I've got a bit more into PvP recently and I wanted to make a video on my loadout. Now this might be a bit more rambly and a bit more unedited than my usual videos, so just be aware of that before we begin. But I'm just going to go over and talk about what I'm using at the moment. Starting off for the primary, the Chaperone is probably my favourite shotgun in the whole game. Now I have heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard like the length of the barrel on the ornament like increases the range, so that might be true, and that's why I'm using this ornament. But in any case, this shotgun is absolutely phenomenal, and the exotic perk is really good, especially when you need to go on, you know, like multi-kills and whatnot. And obviously the range is really nice. The only disadvantage I would say is the fact you have to get a headshot. But apart from that, massive fan of the Chaperone, would highly recommend pairing that with some sort of hand cannon. Now, speaking of hand cannons, we've had a lot this season. Now, I know the bottom dollar, I think it's called, is the Gambit one, and that's meant to be just as good as Igneous Hammer, maybe slightly worse, but I managed to get very lucky, so I haven't really been after that. But definitely pair that with the Chaperone and give it a go. So my roll, yeah, like I say, very lucky. Wasn't too happy with high caliber rounds because someone's told me that it's not really the best and you really want ricochet. Now, yes, I've got extended barrel, but I have been told that don't worry too much about sacrificing range, so that's why I'm using arrowhead here. Also, that recoil control as well. Handling is the masterwork, a big fan of that, can't complain. And I don't have a depth Icarus grip, but I'm using just regular, and that's always nice for mid-air. I would also advise Rampage spec, that's really fun, especially in like 6v6 game modes. As you can see, I've got a fair amount of playtime on the weapon, and if you're wondering about the shader, here it is. Okay, controversial one. 3-peaking, I'm aware, and here's a little tip if you are going to be 3-peak. Radar booster, put it on your sword and you can see slightly further. That is a bit of a cheeky one though, but apart from that, as you can see, I have killed some people with this. It's a fun sword, and I'm just starting to get used to it, especially in like Rumble and stuff. And we've got Assassin's Blade and Relentless Strikes on here. Not a fantastic roll, but swords for 3-peaking are kind of essential, especially in trials. Yeah, there's not really much else I'll say about heavy. I've got a WARDCLIFF coil, and I just got the masterwork recently for that, and I know that's meant to be like one of the best things to go. So let's say I was going with a different type of loadout, we could rock something like this, and I think this would still be reasonably meta. And I know the Messenger is really good with Desperado, but in my opinion, like, I think this is definitely like my favourite loadout at the moment, and that synergizes well with my subclass because I'm a huge fan of the NIGHTSTALKER, and middle tree is just so much fun to get those crouching headshots. But apart from that, as you can see on my stats, we'll get over here in a minute, but there's some madness going on. You're probably wondering how we've got so much. Typical Ghost Shell mods, we're looking for that frozen orbit, so that's why we've got the Prosperity on. Also, we've got a slight bit of Glimmer because I find myself running out quite frequently, and then obviously XP, if you're wondering. Trial Sparrow, and also I think that's like the Hawkmoon ship. In any case, armor. So I saw a video of someone and he recommended this, and it is absolutely amazing. Definitely run Bomber on the Solar class item on your Hunter, and that will get your grenade back so much faster. And then obviously we're rocking, let's have a look. So we've got 100 mobility, which comes with our powerful friends just here. Highly recommend this mod. Basically, if you have another arc mod equip, you will get plus 20 mobility. And that is just amazing to have. Like, as you can see, the total there is 100. This stat distribution could be much better, but you can't complain too much. And then if you are using stasis, which obviously when it is trials, you have to have that edge. So I sometimes will put my stasis on, and that will then bump. As you can see, I'm running these two here because I'm not too bothered about my fragments, but recovery and resilience, like, I believe 60 resilience, like 6%, you can't be, it's swashbuckler on a steady hand, so you can't really be too tapped by the damage perks, which is really nice. Right, yeah, like I say, the strength is also coming from here. So this mod, if you can manage to get it, is plus 20 strength as well, so that's really good to have. Well, personally for trials, I would like to have higher intellect, but if you are looking to grind armor, then I would definitely recommend the dungeon here. Now, if you are looking for high stats armor, it is a bit of a feat to accomplish, but I would recommend the Prophecy Dungeon because you can grind that all week and you can still get a chance at the high stat armor, but it's just not going to be powerful. So definitely recommend doing that. And also, if you go to the, I think it was last season, this thing, you can focus like specifically for a type of armor. So let's say I wanted a helmet with mobility or whatever, we can focus that, and that's a really good way of doing it as well. What else have we got on here? So powerful friends with that mobility is really good. Right, fastball, it only costs 1 energy, definitely recommend using this. Make sure you throw your grenades further, it's really strong. Hand cannon targeting, and also dynamo here, which reduces your super cooldown when using your class ability near an enemy. And being that I have 100 mobility, you've got that class ability up every 11 seconds and then you're dodging, so this is really, really good for your super and obviously your grenade with bomber. And you've probably noticed I do have these stompies on all the while. Now, personally, favourite exotic, another one I'm a big fan of is the Dragon Shadow. This is really fun when running top tree NIGHTSTALKER because you get that grenade back all the while. But apart from that, they're the only two exotics I would really use. If I'm running Arc Strider, I will swap to Raiden Flux when I've got my super, but pretty much majority of the time the Stompies are staying on. But like I say, this build is very, very focused on maxing out your stats. Like, as you can see, as soon as I swap to Stasis, we just have such a major advantage here, and having your dodge up so frequently is so, so strong. Right then lads, thank you so much for watching.